The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the March 28th, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we're beginning our day here with a sea of red. Dow's off 565 points, S&P down 89, NASDAQ 100, 410. That's 2%. 2% for the Russell as well, 42 points. The transport's down 1.5%, 225. Semis are off 2.5%. That's 111 points to the downside. Gold's up 16 bucks. Silver's down 25 cents. Light crude off 49 pennies. Natural gas is flat. Copper is up 1 penny out there. So where do we want to begin? Let's begin with the first question, actually, that came in. Question inside the Tiger's Den. Any signals for a S&P ES mini bounce from about the 5650 area? So for that, we're going to go take a look at its intraday charts out here. We'll have these popped up on our screen. So we take a look at this. The only potential signal, John, that you can watch for out here would be really coming from a 10-minute time frame chart. So in less than 1 minute, we're going to get a TD9 count bottom on the 10-minute time frame. That says at 11:20, that is when that pattern will complete. So I don't know what kind of bounce you're looking for, but the only signal so far that we have out here, we're well below the 5650 level, 10 points. I don't know if it's well below, but we are below that level. But that's the only signal that I see out here is a 10-minute TD9 count pattern that is going to form. If that pattern fails, then we continue to head lower. Head lower to where? Really, it's the daily time frame chart. So this is how I put it together. You got that 10-minute TD9 count pattern. So let's watch that. You guys watch that while I'm reviewing the other instruments for folks or what have you during the show out there. And if that pattern fails, then what the signal would be is that the ES mini is pulling back into the buy zone of its daily profile. And that's the range of 55.96 to 56.32. When we take a look at the other intraday charts out here, you can see the 120-minute chart trading below a couple of breakout levels. Of course, this 2-hour time frame bar doesn't complete until 12 noon. The 240-minute chart trading below its breakout area at 56.88. Same thing with the 5-hour time frame chart. So that's the only signal that we have right now. Now, I got to take that back. That when I say that's the only signal. If you take a look at the 60-minute time frame chart, there is a Rhodes momentum indicator pattern that has been triggered. So if you were to get a bullish reversal candle, that would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart. Is there an A to B equals CD pattern out here? And the answer is there most certainly is. So let's go figure out where we're at in relationship to that. Let's just simply go from this nice TD9 count top that was out there to the Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, wave number 7, gave us a little bit of everything for everybody out here. Now let's go ahead and copy and paste. And now let's move that pasted one over to the high that forms after that. And so now you've got the A to B equals CD pattern. So at about the 1, maybe 1.272 A to B equals CD expansion level. So the other thing to be watching for out there on a 30-minute time frame would be a bullish reversal candle to confirm a buy the D point pattern out there. So to answer your question with regard to the ES Mini, that's about the best that I've got. Let's go take a look at the NQ out here. See what it is signaling to you and I. The NQ did form a Gartley sell pattern. We spoke about that yesterday. And price right now is testing profile support. Profile support, the exact number out here is at, 19,546. So that's going to be a key level to watch. But the real key area out here, I would say, is going to be really the low from March the 11th out there. If price closes below that low, 19,345.75, we're headed lower out there. But right now, the daily time frame is back at support. So it's kind of like when we took a look at now the ES Mini was not back at support. Really, that had further to go to the downside before it gets to its buy zone. In the case of the NQ, it is at support. We can see on its 10-minute time frame, it will go ahead and form a TD9 count bottom pattern at 1120 as long as price closes below. So it can't rally too much more. It's got to close below. It has to close below 19,635.25, and there is a new profile that is formed here. So even on a rally from the 10-minute standpoint, you need to watch this for the NQ. I'm referring to, you got to watch the 19,685 level. That's the top of its profile. That's its oscillator and change line. I'll assume here that you've got the same A to B equals CD pattern to the downside inside the NQ. So you'll be watching for there is a bullish reversal candle. It's only in bar number 7 out there. So no clear signs of any kind of a bottom that we have at this moment in time. That's coming from the NQ. We might as well do this with the rest of them. Let's take a look at the Dow equity future contract. And then we'll take a maybe look at some ETFs. So you've got the TD9 count top inside of the Dow equity future contract. It's testing. It's actually trading below its oscillator and change line at 42,168. If it closes below that, then we're looking for a move back to its breakout level at 41,587. Just like the ES Mini, the Dow equity future contract has a buy zone. In its case, it's between 41,291 and 41,542. It has a TD9 count bottom pattern that has confirmed. It's completing here in about 7 minutes time. It also has a new profile, bullish in structure. It's got resistance at about 42,139. That's its oscillator and change line. And above that, 42,239. 15-minute time frame may form a TD9 count bottom pattern as well. The 30-minute, you're looking for a bullish reversal candle to confirm a buy the D point bottom out there. 4-hour time frame chart is in bar number 8. That says by day's end, you could get a bottom signal out there. So that's what I see there. Finally, let's see if we get those Russell 2000 charts up here before we actually go to break, which is just a few moments from now. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But what we can do is we can finish this when we get back from this break. But let's try to do it. We can run this to the end of the break. So take a look at the daily time frame chart, upper left. You'll see that price is sitting at profile support. So we're at a key level out there. Let's see what that 10-minute chart here populates on the bottom right-hand side. Come on already. Populate for us. Well, there you go. It's got a TD9 count bottom pattern. That's going to complete in another 6 minutes out there. So really the same kind of, the 15-minute chart's not very good. Anyway, Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So on the Russell 2000, I don't know if I gave you the profile information. Let me just make sure I do that. You got the center of that profile at 2041. Price able to close above that. You should get to the 2047, 2049 area. 2049, what you call it, 2050 is the resistance point on that 10-minute profile. Price were to get above that, that would be signaling a further rally. The 15-minute chart has negated a TD9 count bottom pattern. So that kind of suggests to Stevie, we're looking at 2630 as a price level. The daily time frame again is testing profile support as we speak. Let's get into a couple of the requests that have come in. The first one coming in from Tom G, who wants to take a look at NVIDIA. So let's see what NVIDIA is doing here right now. We've got NVIDIA trading below yesterday's low, trading into its swing point that formed out here on the trading day of March the 11th. That swing point, Tom, had volume of 354 million shares. We haven't been trading for 2 hours yet. We are at a total of 82 million shares. So let's call it 90 times 3, 270, coming into 354. So NVIDIA is pulling into a swing point with lighter volume. Now, look, if it still closes below 112.24 today, you're inside that swing point. Even though it's on lighter volume, the risk is that price could test that out. It could even take it out, but at least test the low. And I would say with the weekly time frame chart, if we're to close today below 112.50, that's the bottom of its weekly profile. That formed last week. That's a bullish structured profile. Not necessarily good news there. That would suggest to Stevie that even though on light volume, Tom, if it closes inside that swing point, we're likely to test that low out there. On a monthly time frame, the month ends on Monday. Price is still holding support out here. So the key level there is 109.42. So you're trading below profile support on the daily. You're trading below profile support on the weekly time frame. You're trading into a swing point with lighter volume, but not until we get a rejection, either a close above the high of that swing, 112.24, or a test of the low at 104.77, and a rejection of that. Well, we really have much of we have the additional piece of information that we need to help us with the review of NVIDIA. So that's what we've got. We go through NVDA. Let's go take a look at the stocks out here. The semiconductor index. This is for, where did I put that? This is for SAT-P, and SAT is also looking for a long trade. So let's see what the SOX is doing. And here it is testing a swing point. So just like NVIDIA. Now, this has got a swing point also for March the 11th. Now, the swing point there is 3.8 million shares. So in about 2 hours of trading, just less, what the SOX has done is 1 million shares. So you're basically about a 3.5 million share a day, and you end up going into about 3.7 million. So I can't tell whether we're pulling back with volume or not. But since it seems like similar volume, and we're testing that low right now, have we tested it? The low is 189.11. We've been down to 189.16, so we haven't hit it just yet. So and now price closes below that level. Let's open this up here. Looks like an A to B equals CD pattern on the daily time frame, but let me just open up and make sure. Yeah, that would most certainly form at least another A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. So there's several out here. Let's pull this chart, scrunch it just to back, take a look at the weekly. So the weekly time frame chart, let's open this up. Take a look at the SOXX. It doesn't have a bottom. It's got a weekly hammer from 2 weeks ago. Now that's what it's trading into, and that has volume of 18 million shares. So for the week so far, we're at 13 million shares. So this is coming into that swing point with lighter volume. Nonetheless, if it closes below that level, 183.54 becomes next downside price target. The B point of an A to B equals CD pattern is the swing point from August 9th. That had 30 million shares out there. Again, so far today, we've traded with 13 million. So that's if this volume were to keep up pace out there, what the SOX could do on a weekly time frame is trigger an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside with volume potentially out there. So there's your A to B point. I'll just simply move this over to the where the C point would be. It's the next highest high after that low. Happens to be labeled number C out there, just part of the Chapman wave sequence. So if we close below today, it gets a little bit tricky, but if we close below 192.87, you'll have an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. The question is, do we close below this bullish hammer candle out there, which is the last bastion of hope? And if we do close below that, then you've got that A to B equals CD, and that 166-ish level, 156.63 would be the area. You were looking for a trade. I don't know if it was to the long side or the short side out there, but at this stage here, I'd let the day play out, especially with that daily test of that swing point. And on a monthly time frame, the SOX still has more to go to the downside before it tests support. It has two different levels out there. The first one being 184.09, the second being 167.64. You also wanted to take a look at Hood. You were looking for a trade there as well. Is there anything on our system? You've got a TD9 count top. That went ahead and completed yesterday. It formed on March the 25th. You're trading inside its profile. Odds favor that what Hood wants to do is make its way back to its breakout level, and also the bottom of its profile. That's between 37.01 and 37.19. On a weekly time frame, Hood is testing a swing point, bullish hammer candle, from back on March the 14th. There was 295 million shares that traded that week. This week so far, 211 million shares. Daily basis, we do about 50. So far today, we've done 20, so another 30 million or so on top of that gets us to about 240 or so. So we're moving in there with light volume as well. Nonetheless, if price closes below 41.20, that would add to the idea that we're going to get down and test those lows out there. That's what I've got for Hood. So I don't see any trade to the upside for Hood. If that's what you were looking for, I don't see that at all. Not until price gets down towards 37.01 would you want to perhaps even entertain that. No Spin is asking about the U.S. dollar index. Now, in the case of the U.S. dollar index, I can't put up the live contract. What I can share with you is the following, and this would have been as of, I don't know if this was as of, but here's if it was as of last night. But here's what I can share with you. No Spin on a weekly basis. That's what we're going to be watching here. Is you've got a nice TD9 count bottom that's going to go ahead and complete. And what that suggests is that the U.S. dollar index ought to rally up towards the 106.08 level out there. On the daily time frame, price has been trading above the top of its profile, 103.82. I don't know where we're at right now with regard to the U.S. dollar index, if it's back inside there or not, but that's what's going on with it. What we can do, though, is we can see what's going on with the other currencies, the currency pairs that make up the U.S. dollar index. So let's pull Actually, just pull up the top three out here, which would be the euro, the yen, and the pound. So why don't we see what they're doing, what they're communicating to you and I. Obviously, it's going to take a moment here to populate. And so in the case of the euro, we're trading above yesterday's high. I don't have any kind of a bottom signal or anything, but because we're trading above yesterday's high, what the euro ought to do is rally up towards 108. Well, if it's doing that, the U.S. dollar index should be trading lower. If we take a look at the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, it completed a TD9 count top yesterday. It's pulling back. It should pull back to its oscillator and change line, 148.96. As it pulls back, it's stronger. U.S. dollar is weaker. And finally, the Great British Pound. Great British Pound, it's just trading sort of inside of yesterday's candle session out there, so not providing us with a clear session out there. So it looks to me like the U.S. dollar index still wants to move a bit lower out there. That's what's going on with it. No spin. Hope that helps you out. We come back to this break. Let's look at the XLY, and let's look at wheat. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are March 14th and 28th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the XLY out here. The question is there any kind of signal to short the XLY? So that signal really would have taken place yesterday. And so this formed a wave number 7 bottom. That's courtesy of the Chapman wave, letter number G on my screen out there. So that is still in place out there. That wave 7 bottom rallied right up into the level where a counter trend move would come to an end. This was a bullish structured profile. This profile, when it formed, it was above price. So as you can see here, the profile was above price. That was a bearish message alone right there. But price traded below that for more than 2 consecutive sessions. So because it had, that's the cool thing about these profiles. I mean, it really does give us a competitive edge out there. Now, it doesn't tell us whether, price might have taken out that level yesterday, but it stopped right where it should have, 206.38. The actual high yesterday was 206.43, but that's that center of that daily profile. Now, price is pulling back towards support. And support could be that oscillator and change line. 197.24 is the current print. It's also moving in towards that wave number 7 bottom. Hasn't hit it yet. 197.23 is the number. Now, there's 5 million shares that traded that day. Well, today we're at 1.2 million shares. So we're moving into it with lighter volume. So if the XLY is actually able to push down to 197.23, close back above that, do it with less than 4.9 million shares, what that might be signaling to us is it's getting ready to rally back up into that counter trend zone, 203.98 to 206.38. That's a daily time frame. Weekly time frame, price found support at 196.77. We're pretty close to that. That's its breakout level. I could never tell you to go ahead and short that, knowing that that level is held out there. And then we take a look at the monthly time frame chart. Price so far has found support where buyers and sellers believe there's fair value on a monthly time frame, and that's at 196. That is the center of its profile. So that's what I see. I don't see a short out there, but if you did want to short it, I'd wait for a rally up into that 206.38 level. Again, why wants to looking for a bottom in wheat out here. Okay, so what I did, I put up the continuous contract actually. And the reason I put up the continuous contract is I want to take a look at the monthly chart. Ignore the profiles, okay? I wanted to make sure that we had enough data out here. And really, this is going to be all about Monday. And I know you're looking for a long position, and you found reasons to take a long position. Stevie's going to caution you on that. And it's going to say, first, wait until Monday is over. Till the month is over. Why is that? Well, on a monthly basis, wheat formed a beautiful TD9 count bottom pattern in November of 2023, and that low is 527.50. We're trading below that low right now. You negate that signal, you trade below a red oscillator and change line out there, that says that we're headed lower. That, quite frankly, sets up a ginormous A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. Closing below that TD9 count was also a swing point out there. So wheat could be getting a whole lot cheaper out there. And I probably want to even go back even further. So on the monthly time frame says caution, Will Robinson. It says I'm taking out a bottom. Now, maybe by Monday, price closes back above that level. And if it will have held, then we come back and take a look at what else is going on. On a daily time frame, price is likely to take out a TD9 count bottom pattern. That's a TD9 count from March the 4th out there. All it needs is a close below 530 even Steven. We're at 523.50. So I don't see taking a look at, I could be wrong here. Won't be the last time, won't be the first time, that's for sure. And but I don't see a bottom. I don't see looking for a bottom in wheat, at least with regard to the May contract, which is the. I'll put up the May contract right now. Let that just make sure we haven't overlooked anything out here, which I don't believe that we have. I think we're going to see that TD9 count bottom on that daily time frame. That is likely to get, that's going to likely to be negated. Now, on a daily time frame, it has triggered a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. So why, if you were to see a bullish reversal candle form at some point in time, then at that stage, you'd have a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. On a monthly time frame, now here's the problem. On a monthly time frame, it says we're in bar number 9, but I don't know that we've really got enough data. That's why I went with the continuous contract out there. So we'll go with the continuous contract for the longer term out there, and the shorter term we'd be taking a look at the the May contract, the June contract, something along those lines out there. So I don't see the buy right now. Hope that helps you out. Sharky wants to buy PayPal or is looking for an entry point into PayPal. PYPL is the ticker symbol out there, and it may be negating a TD9 count bottom pattern for its daily time frame today. All it needs is a close below 66.34. We're at 65.88. So that ain't no buy point, that's for sure. Now, it's testing that swing point, which had volume of 20 million shares. So far for the day, PayPal has done about 6.7 million shares. So lighter volume on the pull. Well, no, I can't say that. It's actually pushing into that swing point. Don't know if the volume will keep up or not, Shark, but it's pushing into that swing point with volume. Nonetheless, if it closes below that, it negates the signal, and it says no bottom. It says wait for a bullish reversal candle to go ahead with the weekly time frame chart, which is in bar number 8 this week. So that says that PayPal could form a bottom between this week and the next 2. Geez, Stevie, that's just really wonderful out there. Sometime between the next couple of weeks, well, that's the best information that I've got for you. But how do you put that together? If there's going to be a bottom pattern on a weekly basis, because of a TD9 count pattern, well, you're going to see the bottom form on the daily time frame. And we just don't have that as we speak right now. On a monthly basis, I believe that profile support, let me pull this back, tell you where that is at. The price point there is 64.31. So it looks to me like this still wants to head lower out here, and I would be patient with regard to PayPal. You also had another instrument. HUT is the ticker symbol. Let's put that up on our screen. Well, that isn't it. Where does Stevie put HUT? Let's try this. There we go. I don't know what that is. Is Jabba the Hutt, Pizza the Hutt? But we take a look at HUT. It has a wave number 7 bottom. So that wave 7 bottom formed out here on March the 10th. Then we had a nice little rally with price just really trading with inside its profile, which is what it's doing right now. Price is pulling back to test support. And support is going to be between 1147 and 1165. For the day so far, we've gotten down to 1169. So it's in essence testing that support level. Is that a buy? No, not necessarily. Could be. But let's look at the weekly chart. Do we have a bottom in the weekly chart? And the answer to that question is we do, actually. And it's a buy the D point bottom pattern. So there's some potential. Let's look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart has a TD9 count top with price pulling back into its buy zone. And the buy zone was between, or is between 1105 and 1337. So far for the month, we've gotten down to a low of 1195. So profile support is held. I'm going to put up a different chart. We'll look at some intraday signals out there when we come back from this break. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at for Sharky inside the Tiger's Den, ticker symbol HUT, which on the monthly time frame has pulled back to test support, which is held. It has a weekly by the D point bottom pattern that is being tested. The daily time frame has got a wave number 7 bottom with price testing support out there. So we're looking for other bottom signals out here. On the 130-minute chart, you've got a TD9 count bottom pattern that has formed. It completes in the next hour. On the it's the answer to your question. If you're asking, does it have a buy point? It does for all 3 of those because support is held out there. The struggle is trying to figure out where's this thing going to rally towards. My apology. I don't have a clear vision on this. I see too much resistance up above here to really even kind of take that trade. But I'm answering your question. Does it have a buy? Is it near a bottom? It is. So hope that helps you out. Let's see if I can get clearer on this next ticker symbol. SBSW is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. SBSW trading at $4.42 out here. So the daily time frame, nice TD9 count bottom, which is now turned into an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. So the B point of this was on the trading day of March 11th. Volume there was 13 million shares. It was passed with 13 million shares. So good enough. You've got a nice A to B equals CD pattern to the upside on the daily time frame. So let's go ahead and draw in the A to B point. We'll just move that over to the C point out there and give you at least a approximate price projection here for this pattern. That's going to get you up towards the $4.80 level. And I believe that it's going to go to attack that, especially if today price does close above 438. 438, what's so important about that, Stevie? 438 was the top of its bearish structured weekly profile. So closing above that is a bullish signal. So where is the next level of battle? Well, the monthly time frame shows that price is traded with inside its profile. 451 is the number. That is the center of its it really looks to me like that's pretty much the center of the profile. It's not a bullish or bearish structured area. Just this is where buyers and sellers believe there's fair value within the range of 365 and 536. That's what that means. So the daily says I want higher price. The weekly says I want higher price. The monthly says, Dan, you've got to get above that 451 level. And if you do that, then you could easily see a run towards the 536 area. So that's what I see when we take a look at SBSW. And I think I have been able to get through each of the requests out here. that have come in either by email or the Tiger's Den, and you're welcome. Let's go back to that ESPN. Let's take a look at that intraday chart out there. There's a new profile that has formed since we last took a look at those charts. I want to make sure I pass that on to you. And by the way, the bounce out here on that TD9 count for the 10-minute, pretty meek and mild. It's only gotten up to that red oscillator and change line. You know what that says. It says be careful. Now, but there is a new profile out here. And so you've got resistance at 56.6850. And you have support, which happens to be a little bit of a buy zone, 56.49 and 56.54 out there. So those are the areas to be watching. Now, the real key level for the 10-minute time frame is its TD9 count bottom. It closed below that being 56.44.50. That says that we had lower. Now, price is testing that swing point. That swing point did volume about 47,000 contracts. We've got a little less than 4 minutes left, so about 48,000 contracts, we'll call it. So far, we've done 20,000. So you are testing that swing point and doing it with lighter volume. Boy, do we have markets that are interesting out here. Of course, this candle session is not over. We've got to wait the next 3.5 minutes to see whether we reject it, whether we close inside it, or what have you. What does that say? Look, you've got this. Here's the 10-minute battle that's going on. It's really between that low of that TD9 count and really the 56.68 area out here. So right now you got to let this 10-minute candle session end. If we close inside that, then that says we get the 56.49. It being again the high at 56.55.50. So that's what's going on there. No other changes that I saw here with regard to. So no other signals. 30-minute did not generate a bullish reversal candle, so no bottom signal there. Okay, so that's about it that I've got on that. Let me just check the email, see if there's any other requests. No other requests. So let's tool around and take a look at a few other things. Let's go back to my main screen. So let's look at, nobody's even asked about gold. Kind of interesting. Let's take a look at gold from an intraday standpoint. So we got the gold contract, the June contract. Let's pull this up and see what kind of signals we have out here. So gold this morning, new all-time highs in basically every major currency. Not all of them, but nearly all of them. When I say the most important ones, the yuan, the euro, I believe that it was we were at the pound and the yen out there. So new all-time high. Every Middle Eastern currency that I track, which is about 9 or 12 of them, I believe, all new all-time highs. And all that sounds great, doesn't it? And it is. But here's the issue. The issue is this, and you just got to be careful. We've got to be watching, because when we're new all-time highs in an instrument like that, if we start to get a turn, and we get turns in all of the currencies, boy, that could tell us about what could it tell us about? And that's a good question. We'll move off of this chart here momentarily, and I'll try to answer that question. I'm going to answer it for myself. Sometimes I ask questions, and I'm really asking that question of myself. But on the daily time frame, by the way, with regard to gold, no topping pattern whatsoever. If a bearish reversal candle were to form, then we get a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. 5-hour time frame chart does have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So that says you've got to close above the high of that pattern. The high of that pattern is the all-time high at this stage here, which is 3124.40 out there. TD9 count top on the 240-minute time frame chart. TD9 count top on the 120-minute time frame chart. Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the 30-minute time frame chart. So gold has got really intraday tops all over the place, but nothing on the daily time frame. But what we're going to do is I'm going to do this. Get over here. And I'm going to put up the gold contract, see how much data I'm able to pull up here for June. With regard to weekly and the monthly time frame. But we're going to see on the weekly time frame, what we should see, as long as that data is present, is a negated TD9 count top from last week. And we just waiting for that monthly. So no topping signal, although, hold on a minute, hold your horses, Stevie. Hold your horses. Well, that was just kind of one of those restarts. I was going to say there's a Wave 7 top out there, but I'm not going to make that call. So monthly time frame chart. This is where Stevie sees caution. Monday we complete a TD9 count top on the monthly time frame. Now on the monthly time frame out here, what we really have to do is go to the continuous contract. So it'll take a moment to populate, but I'm going to do that for us. So we're about to go to a break here in about 4 seconds. I'm going to put up the continuous contracts. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back and try to see whether or not these TD9 count signals on the monthly time frame are of significance. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. So we're going to take a ride on the reading. We're taking a look at reading Stevie's charts out here. This is the monthly chart. This is the monthly chart for gold. This is the continuous contract, and we're trying to understand how important is the TD9 count top. So I've identified all of them that I can see going back into the 2006 timeframe. So let's start with the ones on the, let's go from left to right. So we had a TD9 count top was bar number 9 in May of 2006. That certainly capped that price, and price traded sideways for a while, just a slight pullback there. Just really was like a couple of 2-month pullbacks there. We had one TD9 count top that failed. There was one that formed back here in December of 2010. Now what we can see is that price really just was able to pull back to its oscillator and change line. We had a TD9 count top that was of significance back in September of 2011. Reason to pay attention out there. We had another one of fairly decent amount of significance back in August of 2020 out there. And again, come Monday, we are going to have bar number 9 of a TD9 count. I'm saying this really does say caution. When I look at the weekly time frame chart, although it negated its TD9 count top out there, so I don't think that the high is in. Okay, so I don't think that the ultimate high is in. But is there enough of a high that might be in that we might see a retracement or a pullback? And for that answer, I'm saying there is a real possibility. We have been up now for 4 weeks. This will be week number 4 to the upside. Now, not that we can't do more than 4 weeks to the upside, but typically if you take a look at the cadence of the market out here, here's a 4-week move and then a 2-week pullback back from August 23rd. Same thing back here on April the 19th. I think that's what we might be looking at out here, folks, is that gold, believe it or not, is getting ready for perhaps a 2-week pullback. Maybe it fakes everybody out. The only signal that I've got out there right now is coming from that monthly time frame chart. So what that says, and you and I did this earlier, is pay attention to those intraday charts for the gold contract and watch those support levels. Folks, have a wonderful weekend, a fantastic Friday. Thanks for all your requests out there, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Magical Monday. Take care and be safe out there.